whenever there's an episodic series, you can bet two men will talk to you. AJ Talon and Owen Finch give their thoughts on Owen and AJ Talks.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm AJ Talon and that's
Owen Finch, and welcome to Owen and AJ Talks. And today is kind of a sad day, but kind of like an empowering day. We're doing our last RVB video for 2024.
yeah.
You know, we're pretty empowered though, because today will be mark the end of us reviewing the Recollection trilogy with some season 9 stuff mixed in there. But you know, I'm pretty happy about this. I'm happy that we got this part of RVB done, and that I got to watch this part of RVB, which is, you know, because like you said, this is probably the best era, at least that I've seen so far of RVB. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. I'm really happy about it. This is a strange video to kind of end on because this isn't like, you know, super tied to the Recollection. And I even had to explain Owen off camera, like this isn't like in Blood Gulch. This is after Church went into the Epsilon unit at the end of season 8, and this is like all like in Church's mind basically.
So by the way, this is a little breaking, you know, the fourth wall a little bit. I forgot to ask you this before we hit record, so we'll just do this now. I mean, this is not gonna mean much to the people watching this video, but what do I call this video? Because we're viewing a ton of things at once.
I know, right? Yeah. So we're reviewing a bunch of different stuff. Even Owen was like, "How long was the gap between 8 and 9?" I was like, "Yeah, that's about average, like a year." And he was like, "Oh, they did a bunch of shit." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
But yeah, what do I call this video? Like everything in between. Like, what do I call it? I don't know.
The RVB Recollection extras, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out in post.
We're gonna have
hey,
to.
if you've clicked on this video, I guess you know what the video is called, and we don't.
I meant to ask you this too. We've been talking for like an hour, by the way. Let's just tell everyone this. And the most important part of the question I was probably supposed to ask is, what do we call this video? When we're calling this video right now, we don't even know what it's called. Like,
yeah, it is funny because this all, you know, before we had the luxury of breaking this up, you know, Out of Mind came out in between season 4 and 5. Recovery 1 came out in between 5 and 6. Relocated in between 6 and 7. And then we just got like 2 miniseries in between 8 and 9. So it's kind of like, well, fuck. Yeah. And it's funny because these are the last like miniseries, I'm pretty sure, that I'm aware of at least. Red versus Blue always has done like a couple small videos in between seasons just to like keep the fans like happy with like little things. But this, as far as like mini series goes, like I'm pretty sure this is it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's kind of funny. It's a little bit of a whimper, honestly, when you compare it to the previous ones. Like they don't matter too much. I even told Owen, like, you know, these you can kind of watch the show without these, and you'll be fine.
Right.
But like, you know, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's, you know, it's fun, just kind of lighthearted to you know, just again give the fans some stuff to watch in between seasons.
Kind of reminds you of the old like RVB kind of before season 3, like seasons 1 and 2 were kind of lighthearted.
Yeah, I think that was the intention, that like RVB got kind of serious in the last like couple seasons. So this is kind of to you know, kind of going like back to basics kind of thing.
I know, yeah. Honestly, I feel like we would like seasons 1 and 2 better, because obviously this obviously had better, like, you know, animation and like, you know, more technical.
Yeah, better quality, better voice acting. Like the, you know, the writers and the voice actors have had more time to like get into their roles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll start talking about it. So we got 5 things we're reviewing pretty much. Where There's a Will, There's a Wall, the first miniseries. Or like first we're talking about. I'll look at the airing in a moment. MIA. Church's music video, I Am the Best. Caboose visiting the Halo Reach campaign, and finally the season 9 trailer.
/ my predictions of season 9.
Right, yeah, because this is the first time watching us. Why? But I'm caught up to date on the show. I've seen everything. Owen is going through the show for the first time. We watched season 8 and finished the Recollection trilogy.
And I'm going.
And we're going to start season 9.
Yeah, and I'm going through the show the first time, not the way the writers had intended me to go through the show for the first time. So,
right, because we were watching it on Netflix. Netflix cut the show together super weird, and then they took our Red vs. Blue off of YouTube, and now we're watching it on like re-uploads.
Yeah, none of these we watch on re-uploads though. Like I actually watch them on the Rooster Teeth channel. So.
Yeah. But Owen, Will There's a Wall is a little interesting. So it's created by Bernie Burns, but it was written by Miles Luna, and that's interesting because he becomes an assistant writer for the Freelancer Saga, which is 9 and 10. And then, as I told you, Bernie Burns, the creator of the show and the lead writer, steps down after season 10, and then who takes his place? Miles Luna.
So that is interesting. I guess this was him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they did these miniseries. We talked about this in the Relocated, so that way Miles Luna could kind of get his feet wet when it comes to writing.
Yeah. So Gavin Freed was involved with Relocated, and then he ended up directing season 7. So yeah, kind of a similar thing. I'm guessing this was kind of made to give Miles Luna a chance to show his writing chops. And because I'm pretty sure Bernie Burns approached Miles about like fully taking over the show, around season 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was kind of like see what he's got. Then he worked on the main 9 and 10 alongside Bernie Burns, and then he like fully took over during seasons 11, 12, and 13.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So as I said, created by Bernie Burns, written by Miles Luna. Owen, do you want to guess when this aired?
So I know when it didn't air. Summer 2011, because that's the RVB season 9 trailer says that's when that came out, so I know it didn't air then. Let's see, and then I'm pretty sure the season 10 aired summer of 2010, and I think it stopped in like October. I'm gonna say this was like it doesn't feel Christmassy, but I'm gonna say this was like a Christmas New Year's thing that they did. So I'm sticking with my guess. That's cheating if I now. So
I was trying to tell you,
but I have to stick with. I'm sticking with it because now I'm cheating at this point if I don't stick with it. So
you're sticking to your guns. All right, fair enough.
I am going to guess December 20th, 2010.
Oof. No, and you are wrong. This aired April 14th, 2012, and ended on April 28th, 2012.
Oh, okay. So I get...
Yep.
Wait, when did season 9 now?
Season 9 aired... I guess I'll have to look that up.
As we have Dead Air. It's great Dead Air right here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess technically this aired after season 9, June 14th, 2011.
Yeah,
that's strange because this is set after season 8 and before season 9.
Yeah, so I was thinking like that's why I went with 2010 type, and I went to like December because I knew like season 9 it wouldn't air then. So that is into it. So now I'm gonna have to adjust my guess for the MIA miniseries.
Yeah, so MIA, do you want to guess when that aired? By the way, MIA was created by Bernie Burns and also directed by Bernie Burns. I guess Miles Luna only got to direct one of them.
Well, I guess because that aired that came out after season 9, so maybe my guess then is this came out before the other Where There's a Wall. Maybe that's why. So I'm just gonna guess. So that was April. I'm gonna guess February 17th, 2012.
Nope. Okay, so MIA aired November 13th, 2011, and ended on December 17th, 2011.
Wow.
So I seem to see how it goes. Season 8 happened. MIA aired out, then they aired 9, and then pretty shortly after they aired Where There's a Will, There's a Wall.
Wow, so I got fucked over on this one big time. So
yeah. Well, yeah, that is interesting that they aired Will There's a Will, There's a Wall after season 9 because it's definitely set before 9.
Yeah, definitely. So that is interesting, I guess.
Yeah. And then Owen, do you want to guess when the season 9 trailer came out?
So I should have looked at the upload date on this video, but what happens when you watch it on your Fire Stick TV? You don't get to see that stuff.
Well, Owen, that wouldn't help you because they aired this originally on the Rooster Teeth website.
Oh, okay, so that wouldn't help me. Well, obviously, I figured they would want to get people excited for it, give them like like a month or so. So I am going to guess that this came out. The trailer came out May 14th, 2011.
You were actually really close. March 28th, 2011.
Oh, okay. I figured they'd do a couple months. I didn't think they would go that long. So
Yeah. So yeah, now that we've gotten all the wiki stuff out of the way, I guess we'll go right into Red versus Blue, all the extra stuff. That was set between 8 and 9. So where there's a will, there's a wall. I guess I'll mention the blue stuff first because that's pretty separate from everything else.
I do want to say it's pretty funny though, because we've never done this before. It's the only time we're probably gonna do this when we review anything. It's funny that we're gonna cover all the stuff that came out like the release date wise, like backwards. It's because we'll talk about where there's a will, there's a wall, and that came out after MIA, and MIA came out after the trailer. So that's pretty funny.
Well, as you're going to see during this, like these are all really disconnected. Like you can kind of watch this in whatever order.
Yeah, definitely.
And as I said, they're pretty inconsequential. We're kind of just doing it because it's a RVB miniseries. We've done all the other miniseries. It'd be kind of weird to skip them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Will is the wall. So the Blues are pretty happy that this is cool. On the Halo Reach map, their version of Blood Gulch has like a little beach, and that's kind of nice. Obviously, that's not like Rooster Teeth doing that. That's like they used the games, but it's just kind of cool to see Blood Gulch like kind of different.
Yeah, I like that,
and I like that they're kind of taking advantage of the fact that Blood Gulch looks a little different by having the Blues on the beach, and they're pretty happy they've just gotten a new vehicle. It's not a tank this time; it is a big ass plane essentially. Or like a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how all the Blues are kind of imagining what they're going to do with this. Church is just imagining getting on the helicopter and flying out of there and being like, see you later, losers. Which, again, is so funny because this is Church's dream. Like, Church chose to be here.
Yeah, I know. Because I guess that's the biggest thing we didn't say with these two miniseries is that this is like, Church lets Epsilon's like dreams of what he envisions what Blood Gulch is like and everything like that. So
yeah, it's funny. The creator Bertie Burns, he actually he was upset that Inception came out around this time, and he was like, "Damn it, people are gonna think we got the idea from Inception."
That's actually funny because the next episode of Rick and Morty they do like an Inception story in that episode.
Yeah, with the teacher. Yeah. Have you seen Inception?
No, so maybe
okay, we're gonna have to review that.
Yeah,
because RVB's doing an Inception thing and Rick and Morty's doing an Inception thing.
We'll probably have to do that like soon then too, so that
Yeah.
next year.
But yeah, so pretty much basically, if you remember the end of season 8, Church went into the Epsilon unit to go find Tex. The unit shut down before Church can get out, and now Church he's trying to find Tex by going back to his memories of Blood Gulch. And kind of just hoping that, because the director kept trying to force Tex to be with him,
mm-hmm.
that he's gonna just stay in one spot and kind of hope that Tex will come to him, essentially.
Yeah.
And I do like the end of season 8 ended on. We both got pretty personal there, where we were really like the message Church gave, where of like. Church has always bitched and moaned about the Reds and Blues, but at the end he decided, if he has to be trapped in a memory, he might as well make it a good one.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, as personal as we got in those other videos, I can imagine if those people were still around, like this is how Church is living his life. We'd probably be living our lives with the same way we saw those people and everything like that.
Right. I do like it's not like romanticizing it, I guess, in a way. Like Church's daily life is pretty much how it would be,
Yeah.
Like everyone's still pissing him off.
Right.
Yeah, but I just do think it's funny that like Church's dream is like getting on this fucking helicopter and flying out of here. When it's like, Church, you are literally here by choice. That you recreated Blood Gulch, just so you could hang around with these assholes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's funny. Yeah.
And then we get Tucker's dream, where if you remember back in Blood Gulch, Tucker was upset that they got a tank because they can't pick up chicks in a tank. And now he's like, oh, sweet, I'll be able to pick up so many chicks in this. And he's just imagining like a bunch of girls like swarming over him because he's riding the helicopter.
Yep.
And of course, Caboose is just imagining, he lit the helicopter on fire and crashed it.
Which actually is what ends up actually happening, but it's not his fault.
Yeah, but not Caboose's fault, yeah. Church and Tucker both call dibs, and they kind of have to like bicker over who gets the helicopter. Why they can't take turns, I don't know.
I like this, though, kind of reminds you of the back and forth that we used to get in the old seasons of OVB.
Yeah. I like this because Church and Tucker haven't had much of a chance to like have a back and forth for a long time.
Yeah, and then like and that's where that was like one of the first scenes of the entire show was Church and Tucker's back and forth. So
yeah, so it's nice. Because obviously Tucker wasn't in season 6, until like the very end on the radio. Church wasn't in most of season 7. And then during season 8, they were kind of doing their own thing.
Right.
So yeah, we haven't really had much Tucker and Church. I do like this. Remember, this is Blood Gulch like at the very beginning, so Tucker doesn't have a sword.
Yeah.
So he's kind of complaining that like Church gets a sniper rifle and he doesn't get any of the cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, he doesn't have the sword yet, so he's complaining that he doesn't get any of the cool toys. And Church is trying to be like, hey, you can be the wingman, you can be on the gun, and Tucker's like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and then they end up deciding, okay, we're gonna settle this the old-fashioned way, and then they both called a Caboose, and they're trying to do it like Caboose is like a dog. They're like, come here, Caboose, come here, boy.
Yeah.
And they're both trying to like bribe, and then basically the competition is whoever gets Caboose, like whoever Caboose picks gets to keep the helicopter.
And surprisingly enough, well, he picked Tucker, but like it was funny because Church was just about to say to Caboose that he's his best friend, and then Church was just like, you know what, fuck it, that's not worth it. You can have the tank type of thing. Like,
yeah, I do. It's funny because Tucker was like, hey, Caboose, I'll let you ride the tank whenever you want, and Church was like, hey, you can't do that, and Tucker's like, why not? You never rolled out lying.
Yeah,
and I like how Caboose is right there when Tucker says he's lying, but like he doesn't even care.
I know, yeah. But yeah, I do.
And yeah, like you said, it's really funny how Church is like, all he has to do is say Caboose is his best friend, and he's got the helicopter. But he's like, not worth it.
Yeah, can't blame him.
Yep. But a little while later, Tucker's walking over to his brand new helicopter, and Church is like kind of bargaining with him, being like, hey, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you. And then he hits him with the final proposal. I will give you the sniper rifle. And I do like that because that was a big running joke in Blood Gulch that Tucker always wanted to use a sniper rifle, but he never got to.
So good that they carried it over.
Yeah. It's been a while since they did that running joke. It's kind of funny, too, because remember season 5, did it like Church wanted the sword and Tucker wanted the sniper rifle? But like neither one got it. But then Church used it in Caboose's mind. And then Tucker used it like at the very end when they were fighting the Wyomings.
Yeah.
So again, kind of calling back to this is like season 1 Blood Gulch, basically. And I like how Tucker like pauses for a moment and turns around, but then he's like, you know what, Church? Normally I would want a sniper rifle, but Tucker, this new Tucker's new and improved. He owns a sweet ass helicopter.
Yep.
And then as we'll talk about in the Red storyline, Simmons is in the background fucking with the helicopter screaming and about to crash it. And I love how the Blues don't even react to it. They're just staring at each other. And then after Simmons leaves, Tucker's like, you know what, on second thought, I think I could really learn to love having a sniper rifle. Like he tries to take Church on his deal because he already knows Simmons is going to fucking crash it.
And I like that Church just backs out of the deal because, he's like, yeah, that deal's off, buddy. Like, that was pretty funny. He just backed out of it.
And I love how that's pretty much the end of the Blues' plot of this, They're kind of just like, well, okay, that's it. The Reds fucked it for everyone.
What I liked about this too, we talked about this off camera. Even this is all in Church's mind, like everything that happens. But like the two miniseries, the Reds are kind of mainly the focus of those two series, even though it's all in
Yeah, it
Church's
is
mind.
funny how Church is just imagining what the Reds are doing, even focusing on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the Reds, what are they up to? So Griff is up on a hill, just kind of standing around, not doing anything. He's trying to avoid work, of course. But Simmons comes over to him and says, hey, Sarge has been really distracted the last couple days. He's been staring at this wall that we have. And Griff is pissed off because he's like, what? I've been trying to avoid work, and you're telling me Sarge hasn't even been paying attention for days?
Right.
I think that's pretty funny. And again, like the Blues were on the beach, I like that they're kind of taking advantage of the fact that Blood Gulch looks different.
Yeah, definitely.
Because before there wasn't a big wall, and now there is. So I like that Sarge is like upset about the wall.
Yeah.
And of course he thinks it's like a blue conspiracy. They have like a secret weapon behind them.
Yeah, so good for taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I like that. So Sarge basically wants to break the wall. Tear down the wall.
I did think it was funny too that like right after like Griff was getting pissed off that like he couldn't just been up and doing anything, like Sarge called them over afterwards, so like they could have.
It's like Griff is like, damn it, like I
like to think that if they didn't have that conversation, Sarge wouldn't have even called them over or anything like that. He would have just been doing
like Sarge heard them and he's like, all right, I'm doing this now. So they're basically like, okay, we gotta break this wall, see what's behind it. And poor Lopez, man. This is our first time seeing Lopez in a while because he got shot at the end of season 7.
This was interesting too because I watched like MIA first, so like I didn't think like when Lopez was in this miniseries, it would kind of surprise me. So I do kind of like that too because I wasn't sure like if Epsilon had any memories at all of Lopez and stuff. Considering the fact that I don't know if Caboose told him or like had any memories. So it's kind of cool that Lopez shows up here.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to just see him in general, but yeah, like you said, it's nice that like Epsilon remembered him basically. Yeah, and then of course, poor Lopez. That's funny. You brought up in the season 8 video, like poor Lopez, like he knew the Reds and Blues destroy shit as soon as they get it, so we started making spares of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this miniseries is basically showing why Lopez does that.
Yep.
So basically, Sarge orders them to construct a big ramp, and they're gonna have Griff get in the Warthog and use the ramp to fucking go over the. Not even go over. His plan is to have Griff drive into the wall.
Yeah.
And destroy the wall. I was thinking like, oh yeah, that's really nice of Sarge to like want to go over, but no, his plan is basically like have Griff fucking be a kamikaze and destroy the wall.
And I like to think that, because we find this plan doesn't work, but I do like it that like. Part of this plan is to see what's in the wall, but also to get Griff killed pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, literally, like, Sarge is literally like, my two goals are destroy the wall and get Griff killed. And as soon as the wall isn't destroyed and Griff is alive, Sarge is like, damn it, we failed on both fronts. I
like the conversation back and forth where Simmons was just like, well, that plan was a total disaster, and then Sarge is like, don't think on the bad side, Simmons. The plan isn't necessarily over yet. And then he asks like Griff if he's okay, and Griff is just like, you hear like Griff like writhing in pain and all that type of stuff, and so I was like, that was a total failure. Like Griff being alive, I think is what made the plan. Like honestly, the wall could have got destroyed, but if Griff lived, I think Sarge would have still saw that as a total failure.
I know, right? Like the main goal was just getting Griff killed. I do love how comedic it is. Like Griff is like, nah, fuck this is stupid, but they make him do it anyway. He goes off the ramp. He doesn't even get that far. He fucking goes like 5 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And then he like the car crashes off screen, and you just see it like tumble back on screen like on fire. Yeah, and poor Griff. Donut actually isn't in this, but they mentioned that Donut is like taking care of Griff, and like Griff is like super injured, and he's like, Griff could have died. And Sarge is like, yeah, I know, right? That's fucking awesome.
I just love the fact that like that. I don't know. I feel like these two miniseries like really hammered that home that like Sarge really wanted. I like too because this is like in Epsilon's head. I feel like Epsilon is like this is actually pretty spot on, but I feel like Epsilon like took the Sarge wants Griff killed to like a whole nother level like type of thing.
Yeah, he's literally focusing on it. Like he's not even focusing on himself or Tex. He's focusing on how much Sarge wants to kill Griff. That's pretty funny.
Because in real life, I know it's pretty graphic, but I think it's more like accidental. But in the Epsilon unit, like he's putting Griff into like situations to get killed. Like
I know, I get it. It's so funny. None of this is real. This is all in Church's head, and Church is thinking of scenarios where Sarge would try to get Griff killed. It's pretty funny.
Awesome.
To the point where Sarge is like, "Hey, Simmons and Lopez, go steal the Blues tank, and we're gonna use that to blow up the wall."
Mm-hmm.
And, basically, while Church and Tucker were having their conversation, Simmons and Lopez were up on the hill using a sniper rifle to spy on them. And this is really nice, because we talked about how it was really cool to see Simmons and Lopez be a duo
in
season 7. So it's kind of nice we got to get that again.
And they recreated it from season 7, too, which was pretty cool. So
yeah, pretty much. Well, it's also cool because normally it's the Blues spying on them with the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And, I think Lopez even said that. Like, Simmons is like, hey, where do you think the Blues are? And Lopez is like, probably spying on us with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And I do love how Simmons is, like, spying on the Blues. And Lopez is like, dude, you have a sniper rifle. Just take 3 shots and that's it. It's over.
I know, yeah.
Like, and later on, when they're getting the tank, Lopez is like, okay, let's get in the tank and let's just kill all the Blues. Like, we'll win. Like, we'll win super easily.
Yeah. He even mentioned the keys are in the ignition, too. Like, and then someone wants to go get the freaking helicopter. He's like, no, Lopez is like, the keys are right in the ignition. Let's just get it. Let's just get out of here.
I know, and they even point out, like, okay, cool, they have a helicopter. If we take the tank, we can just blow up the helicopter. And they also bring up, the Blues probably don't even know how to fly the helicopter. And why would we steal it when we don't know how to fly it either?
Right.
So, yeah, I just love that Lopez is always, like, saying the smart shit, but no one fucking understands him. It's such a fun joke.
I liked in season 7, too, the one thing I remember the one thing they understood. It was, like, something that, like, Lopez said, like, sarcastically, but they took it, like, seriously. I remember that happened.
Oh, yeah, I do love that. That was funny. I think why they work as a duo so well is, like, Simmons is usually the smart one. But, like, next to Lopez, he looks as stupid as everyone else.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, basically, when they were spying on the Blues, they figured out they have a helicopter. So we're like, okay, we're gonna change the plan. So we're gonna instead of taking the tank, we're gonna take the helicopter and fly over the wall. Because while they're doing that, Sarge is making Griff like climb up the nearby like mountain to like try and get over the wall, and he's like threatening to shoot Griff basically. Mm-hmm. Poor Griff. It's this is like Relocated. Remember they were making Griff climb the tower.
Yeah.
So pretty similar to that.
And a bunch of birds are flying around him and everything like that, just like in Relocated.
Yeah, I do like Griff is like, get the fuck away from me, and like all the birds are like trying to get at Griff. That's funny. But yeah, Simmons gets in the helicopter and he tries to take off, and it's not going well. And, because obviously, like Lopez says, none of us know how to fucking fly it. Like, why would we take it?
Right.
It is kind of funny how Lopez is complaining to Simmons, like, why don't we just take the tank? But, like, he doesn't take the tank himself.
I know, yeah. I guess he just does what he's told. He doesn't take initiative, I guess. So. Yeah.
Well, I think that's why Lopez also kind of works, is, like, he's smarter than everyone else, but he's still dumb. Like, everyone is a moron.
Right.
Like Lopez says, he'd just get in the tank and kill everyone, and that'd be that. But he just doesn't.
I guess he's just I guess he's just done with this bullshit. I don't know what it is, but
yeah. But poor Simmons is trying to fly, and I do love when they're in the tank, they're in the helicopter together. Simmons is like screaming, "I don't want to die a virgin," and Lopez says, "Why are you looking at me when you say that?"
I also like to he ran the tutorial program and he was still fucking like he fucked up getting it off the ground, and then like the tutorial program like ran and was just like, okay, All right, you've gotten it off the ground. Here's the next part of the tutorial program. But like Simmons wasn't even doing like the tutorial.
Oh yeah,
right.
he's like fucking almost gonna crash it. Yeah, and I do like that because if you remember back in season 8, they brought that running joke back, where whenever they don't run the tutorial program, they end up like killing somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Griff sees that Simmons is coming with the helicopter and he's freaking out. And Griff is trying to like jump over the wall, but like he can't make it. And big crash happens. Simmons, of course, destroyed the vehicle. I'm glad Epsilon got that right about Simmons, that Simmons fucking destroys all the vehicles.
Yep.
And they destroy the wall. Griff is okay. Simmons and Lopez are okay somehow. I guess everyone's okay. And they see that behind the wall is another wall. And Simmons is like, dang it. Like, what are we going to do about that one? And Sarge is like, what do you mean? Why would we destroy it? And so basically, Sarge only wanted to see what was behind the first wall. He doesn't care about the second wall.
This reminded me of that scene in iCarly where like they spent the whole episode where Spencer was trying to get into like, like a safe, and then like he destroyed the safe, and there was like a smaller safe in that big safe type of thing, and the episode ends with that too. Like he has to get into that safe type of thing. So
that's funny. Naruto did a pretty funny thing where there's this character who always wears a mask, and the whole episode is like them trying to like see what he looks like under the mask. And at the end, they just ask him, hey, can you take off the mask? And he's like, sure. And he takes it off, and he's like, behind my mask is another mask. That was pretty funny. So this is like the same thing. It's like behind this wall is another wall.
I liked it.
Yeah. And then everyone just kind of goes back to base. And they're like, hey, Lopez, all right, cool. By the way, repair that Warthog for us. It's like, on fire. From the first attempt to get behind the wall. And we get Lopez having a little daydream like the Blues did. And he's just imagining fucking killing everybody with the tank.
I can't blame him for that.
Yeah. And I like how that's how the miniseries is. That's how the miniseries ends. Just Lopez envisioning murdering everybody.
Yeah, I like this. This was good comedic stuff. I like the stuff with trying to find out what was behind the wall, and I like the big twist at the end where it was just another wall. That was funny. And that Sarge doesn't care.
Yeah, well, I think what made it funny was that Sarge didn't care. Like we said, it's like like you said, he has to get behind another safe, and Sarge was like, no, I don't give a shit. I found out what's behind the first wall. That's all I cared about.
Yeah. And then I liked the stuff that was going on with the Blues, even though it was kind of brief, but that was still kind of funny. It was good to see Church and like Tucker go back and forth again. I mean, I already seen it because I watched it on my eye first, but like this was still cool here. So,
yeah.
So the nice, cool stuff. Give this a nice B-, good solid stuff.
Yeah, B-, C+. I enjoy it, but like I said, it's kind of just fluff. It's filler, which is fine. That's kind of what the intention was. It wasn't anything serious. Just kind of lighthearted stuff in between seasons. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, C+, B-. And now, moving on to the second miniseries, MIA. Owen, you want to take her away?
Yep. So, I guess I'll just... this series was a bit more special, I guess, just because, the Reds and Blues kind of did stuff together this time around. The first half of it's kind of them doing their own thing, and then they kind of do their own... And then they kind of, do it all into one story, which was pretty cool.
I did like how they kind of go beyond Blood Gulch.
Yeah, I liked that.
Because Willow's Wall was like in Blood Gulch, and like we said, it was taking advantage of the fact that like it looked different.
Mm-hmm. But what the Blues are doing during all of this, because I guess their thing that they do is quicker before they meet up, is they're kind of getting the base organized, and Caboose is just pushing out like these big boxes, like these big crates, and Church just gets upset with them because he just wanted to like organize it, like Caboose just like put it all out of the base, but he like wanted it just to be like done and like be put in storage and things like that. And I like this because we got like it's kind of cool because they're referencing like real world stuff and like stuff that was like hip in 2011 around this time. Even though Well, I guess this did come out in 2011. It was the other one that didn't come out in 2011. Because, like, in the beginning, Saw just sitting that song, like, Friday, gotta get down on Friday, and that was a big song. They had just come out at that time.
Yeah. That is funny because this was supposed to be, like, in the future. And they even did a joke about that in season 8, where like Simmons was gonna spoil the last episode of Lost.
Yeah.
And then Sarge was like, spoilers, and Simmons was like, what? That show came out like hundreds of years ago.
Right.
That's kind of funny when they reference like stuff that's today when it's obviously supposed to be in the future.
Right. And then but here what the Blues reference is Tetris, the game, you know. I actually haven't played Tetris, so I didn't really get the ref. Like I knew what Tetris.
Really?
I knew what Tetris was, but I haven't actually played. So
Wow, I'm kind of surprised you've never played Tetris in your life. That's surprising.
Just haven't had the interest. So
fair enough.
But yeah, so they make a lot of Tetris references, and then doing this, Tucker is scouting. They come up with like a. They come up with a more complicated word that they actually say. I forget what it was.
They even do a joke about that, where like Tucker, like the word they're looking for is reconnaissance.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool because they say that word again at some point in the where there's a wall. So it's kind of cool that that carried over.
Yeah,
and I like this because they're basically just doing this just to kind of avoid helping Caboose because like. Doing this in the background, you see like Caboose is like pushing all of the crates and everything like that, and they're just basically doing this just to kind of buy time so they don't have to like help him, type of thing.
Yeah.
And they're also kind of like questioning like, what are the Reds doing? And I feel like the whole reason, I feel like they knew there were reconnaissance, maybe, but they kind of didn't know it at the same time. They were just biding time so they didn't have to help Caboose, and doing all this.
Well, yeah, that was like the joke was that like they're doing like reconnaissance, but like they're just trying to like avoid helping Caboose.
And then Caboose is like shouting over to them, being like, "Are you guys doing that reconnaissance thing or that other word? I don't know what it is." Yeah. And then they're just like, "All right, Caboose, we'll be right there," type of thing. And then that's kind of all the Blues do until the Reds and Blues cross over. But I liked what the Blues did. It was some nice. Funny stuff. Again, this was my first time seeing like Tucker and Church have like a back and forth, which was nice. So, what do you think of what the Blues were doing before I talk about the Red stuff?
It's pretty fine. Like you said, it was kind of nice to just see Church and Tucker hanging out. I do like how Church was being a bit of an asshole when Tucker says like it's quiet, and then Church tried to get him say like the movie line like it's quiet, too quiet.
Yeah.
But Tucker was like, no, that's nerdy. But then when he finally said it, Church was like being an asshole about it. He's like, oh, diabolical. We must investigate this at once, like being over dramatic about it.
Yeah, that was good. I liked that. Kind of reminds you of like the old, Alpha episode, that we saw in like the beginning of the show. So,
yeah. Just seeing Church be a bit of an asshole, yeah, them bantering.
But doing all this, the Reds, Simmons can't find Griff. He's looking all over for him. I did like this because it showed like a wide shot of it. And Sarge is just kind of hanging out, and he's just like, I don't know why. I just feel so at peace today. Like, everything just feels peaceful today. And then Simmons just tells Sarge that he can't find Griff. He's like, well, that explains it. That my peacefulness is over now, type of thing. He's asking, Simmons if he's, like, checked every room, like, the pantry, and they make a joke how, like, Simmons, how Griff goes there to kind of take, like, a break, and we don't see him for, like, hours, and he just eating all the food there. And basically, they make all these different types of jokes about where, Griff could be, and then we find out that there's a ransom note written, and the reason that's why Simmons knows, well, the reason why they both know it's a ransom note is because they did, like, they wrote, they had, like, the words cut out of like a newspaper, like it was calligraphy and all that type of stuff. And I like this too because Sarge doesn't even read in the ransom note because obviously Sarge doesn't want to go. The joke is he doesn't want to go help Griff. He's just like, this is just like typical ransom stuff you see all the time. They want something, they'll threaten this person. Why don't we just skip all of that and let's just basically not even go save Griff?
Yeah, I do love that.
And then I love too that Simmons is like, okay, well, could I just read the note? And I feel like too, Sarge knowing that Simmons was just gonna read the note anyways, was just like, oh, I'll just read it. Like that was kind of like an act of defeat that like now they're gonna have to like deal with this type of thing.
Yeah, like you said, I do love how this is all in Epsilon's mind, and he's just imagining scenarios where Sarge wants to get rid of Griff. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing actually of both these miniseries, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
it's very. Church really hit it on the head.
Yeah, and Sarge starts reading it. Basically it says that they took Griff, and basically says that they're gonna send over like another ransom note of the demands that they want. And doing all this, like Sarge just saying the word stop, like as if they were supposed to like pause there, trying to make it seem like it was a real ransom note. And it also says like, do not contact like command, or else there'll be serious consequences. And I like that they do the opposite. And I guess this is where we should have noticed that like this really wasn't a ransom note when they contacted command anyways, because obviously nothing happened when they contacted command. So
yeah.
So Sarge radios into command, and we got Vic back.
Yeah, we haven't seen Vic in forever, so it was good to see him.
Yeah. This is cool, obviously, and I don't think it has been a while since I've heard his voice, but I think he sounded a little different than he typically did, but it was still fine. Because it's in the new like Halo game footage and everything like that. Both of these were. I mean, he looked a little, because you haven't seen him. We didn't see him in like the.
I think they reused Vic from Blood Gulch. Like I think he looked the same as he always did.
Yeah. So, Vic, Vic isn't trying to pit the Reds and Blues against each other, because sometimes he would do scenarios where they were. I guess Epsilon didn't remember that. So,
Vic is actually kind of helping him out a little bit. Well, Sarge is like saying like Griff got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And Vic had to be like, you mean captured? Because you guys are soldiers. Like he got captured by the enemy, blue base maybe. Like they're like, and they even point out like Simmons is like, actually that's a good point, Sarge. How come you didn't think of the Blues first thing? Like you blamed the Blues for everything, but you didn't think it was them when they captured Griff.
I like that joke, yeah. And then doing all of this, pretty much Vic offers to send a temporary person to kind of help them out. And it ends up being Doc, of course, which is pretty funny. And this is the first time that Doc and Sarge have any type of conversation with each other. They haven't had one yet. And as you told me before, I don't think we've talked about this on camera yet. But Doc and Sarge are voiced by the same person, and they do a funny joke with that. They mention that they've never had a conversation with each other before.
They're even like, it's really weird to hear from you.
Yeah. Sarge, offers, for Doc to come over, and they plan to invade the Blues, thinking that they have Griff, and they need another person for that. I do kind of like this because this was kind of a callback to season 7, because originally the Reds had the advantage, and then it turned around at the end of the season where the Blues had the advantage, kind of. So I kind of liked that they kind of called that back a little bit. And Doc doesn't want to really get involved in the fight because he's a pacifist. So I think they're going to basically send him out there as like a kill count type of thing.
Well, it's even funny. Sarge is like, what's your kill count? And Doc is like, super high. Oh, wait, you mean in battle, not the operating table? Then 0.
Yeah.
I do love the joke that, like, Doc is, well, one, he's not a doctor, he's a medic. But, like, not only is he a medic, he's a really shitty medic.
Right. Kind of weird. That's the only scene we get of Doc. I thought we were going to get more of him. Like, he doesn't...
Yeah, he doesn't come back. That is weird how they, like, had, like, a scene of Sarge calling him and, like, he doesn't show up.
Right. Doing all of this, the Blues. What would you think of all the stuff with the Reds before you talk about the rest of the stuff?
I enjoy it. Like I said, the conversation between Sarge and Doc was fun. Well, I liked it more because when Caboose and Church like bring it up that they sound similar, I thought that was kind of funny. Mm-hmm. This scene itself, it's fine. Like I said, it was nice to see Vic. This is mainly just to kind of get the ball rolling, like give the Reds a reason to go attack the Blues.
Right. And I do like this, because this is all in Blood Gulch. The whole battle for Red versus Blue still matters and everything like that. Because obviously we're way past that in, like, the Recollection trilogy.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get that in the Freelancer, like,
yeah, it's not even really, like, about Red versus Blue anymore, so now it's kind of nice going back to those simple days.
And yeah, so Church and Tucker come over to Caboose, who's all worn out because he just, like, bought all those, like, boxes in and everything like that. He did say, too, that, like, some of those might be broken, but he had nothing to do with that. They were broken before then, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Church and Tucker shouldn't even complain. And when they got back, they're like, "Oh no, did we miss helping you? Oh, that's such a shame. We'll have to do it next time."
Yeah.
Like they're being assholes about it.
And doing this, Caboose, like, revealed, like, he was listening to, like, music doing all this because he had, like, a radio in his helmet. And we find out that he was, like, listening in on that call that, like, Surge gave to, like, Command, which I think is really funny, by the way, that, like, he did this by, like, accident and he didn't even realize that, like, he just infiltrated like a military.
Yeah, because Caboose was, like, saying, like, "Oh, the music is really weird." It kept talking about, like, fighting the Blues and, like, Griff is missing. And then Church had to be like, "Wait a minute, did you, like, intercept a call from the Reds?" And this, like I said, they do the joke where Caboose is like, "Yeah, it was a little confusing. Some of the voices sounded like some of the other voices." And then Church had to be like, "Okay, well, casting is expensive. Shut up."
I did like to...
Well, it's also as Vic and Church have the same voice actor. So I guess that's why Church was like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
Because Vic is also the voice of the same guy.
Oh, that's cool. I did think it was funny when, like, Caboose was just like, some of these people, like, insult the Blues. It actually made me pretty depressed. Like, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, like, it actually hurt Caboose's feelings. That's funny. Yeah.
But doing all this, like, Caboose couldn't really get... he was like, I think there's an invasion happening. He didn't remember when it was. And, like, right when he remembered, like, the attack had already, like, started, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And doing all this, it's just... Simmons and Soj, and
kind of weird they didn't have Lopez help out. As we find out, Donut's missing too, but Lopez should be around. So it's kind of weird that Lopez wasn't with him.
Yeah, so I guess Church didn't feel like putting him there. He's like, yeah, this is...
Yeah, Church remembered him. Church remembered him, and where's Will's Wall? We didn't remember him in MIA. That's funny.
Either that, or he's just like, you know what? This memory isn't going to suit me if Lopez is involved. Let's take Lopez out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So doing all this, like, Tucker and Church are going back and forth, and Tucker comes up with actually a pretty decent plan, talking about, like, how we could go help them rescue Griff, and we could take him hostage, and that way we can have, like, an advantage and kind of actually blackmail them. So I do like it. Like, the Reds think that Blues, like, captured Griff, but they're actually gonna, like, do it now, type of thing. So I think that's actually pretty funny. Like,
yeah. And I do like when they come out to negotiate. Like, Tucker's like, "Okay, I'm coming out," and then Sarge shoots him, and he's like, "What the hell?" And Sarge is like, "What? Well, you told me you were coming out, so I shot at you. Obviously, duh."
And then they go to the joke again, where Tucker's just like, "All right, I'm coming out again, but just to talk about a plan, don't shoot at me." And they're just like, "Okay," but, like, Sarge kind of pauses, like, thinking he was gonna, like, shoot at him anyways, type of thing. So I thought that was funny. And yeah, and then, 2 hours go by. It took him 2 hours to explain this whole plan because Caboose kept asking questions in the middle of it and everything like that.
Yeah, I do love the joke. Is like, 2 hours later, Tucker explains the plan in, like, one sentence. And then Simmons is even like, "Why did that take 2 hours?" And then, then we get the joke of, like, Tucker had to keep sobbing to explain it to Caboose. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And pretty much they, they negotiate, and pretty much the Reds have to, like, give them all, like, the Warthog and, like, all their equipment if they help them do this mission and everything like that. And the Reds reluctantly agree. So, Tucker reveals that he has a guy in the city we originally think it's like, I like to do the joke because what Tucker says, like there's a guy that can inform them of like kidnapping. He's like, what is this, a kidnapping guy? And Tucker's just like, no, he's on vacation. And I like this because like they keep going back to this joke and everything like that. So I did think that was pretty funny.
Well, I also do like we find out like the kidnapping guy, like his name is actually Guy.
Yeah. So.
And like his information guy is French and it's pronounced Guy.
Yeah. So, they're going to go into the city, and they start driving to the city, and they get lost because typically, Simmons doesn't drive the Warthog, which is pretty consistent. It's always Griff that drives the Warthog. So,
yeah.
And he's typically...
Well, even as we saw in, there's a wall, Griff was the one driving it into the wall. I mean, partly because Sarge wanted to kill him, but also because he's usually the one who drives it.
Typically Simmons does navigation, and I like that Church calls him. I was like, why did we get lost then if you typically do navigation anyways? And I did like this. I noticed something like in the background, like, is this the kidnapper? But it was just like Tucker. He was on like a tree in the background. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And doing all this, they're gonna go ask, because they're at like another base. They're gonna go ask for like instructions, and when they go in there. We see like these blues that just want all the reds all to be killed.
And do you remember? I like how Sarge knows where they are. Like he hears the guys and he's like, "Shit, hey, how about you go in there, Church?" So it's just like, why?
I meant to ask you this: are these the guys that were like having like an Xbox Live match? And like, okay,
yeah.
So
yeah, these are the guys from season 3 where they were having an Xbox match. Yeah.
So they don't. Are we ever gonna see these guys again other than here? Because it'd be kind of funny if like it'd be funny if like during the recollection show, like we talked about before, the meta like showed up and like killed one of them or something like that. Like,
yeah, that would be funny. Yeah.
Or like,
but yeah, no, it's cool they brought it back, and it's also I like that like Sarge knows who they are, but like no one else does. Although that is a little weird because like we said, this is all in Church's memory, so it's weird that like Sarge knows who these guys are, but not Church when this is all Church's memory.
Maybe it's like a repressed memory, I guess.
Yeah, again, I guess they told Church about the Xbox kids like later. But it's funny because we were praising Red versus Blue for being consistent with that. Unlike if somebody wasn't there for something, they don't know about it,
mm-hmm.
or they Donut was in a coma, and he wasn't there for season 6, so he didn't know about the meta. But, Lopez came in after, so he kind of vaguely knew who the meta was when they talked about it.
Yes.
So I'm just saying this is something where we usually praise Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
For being consistent on, who knows what. But, this was a little inconsistent on, Church should know, or he shouldn't know who these Xbox Live kids are, because he wasn't there.
Right. But they go in there, and, the Xbox Live kids... are all saying kill the Reds, kill the Reds, kill the Reds, and they believe Cabooses are blue because he's actually dressed in blue attire, which is funny because he's not even dressed in current blue attire. He's just he's still in that attire that he was in Season 6.
Yeah, like the old suit, yeah.
And they're questioning Church and Tucker what if they're even blues, which is kind of funny because technically Church isn't even a blue, so that's pretty funny actually.
Yeah. Oh, I think we forgot to mention it in season 8, but it is kind of. Oh no, did we? That was a plot point that Caboose's armor didn't lock down because his was an older model.
We never mentioned. I think we forgot to mention it.
Oh, okay. But in season 8, when Phyllis shut everyone's armor down, it didn't shut down Caboose's because his armor was older.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like you said here, it's kind of nice that they're acknowledging again that Caboose is wearing a different armor from everybody else.
Yeah. So. Doing all of this, they say they ask for the leader to step forward, and this is kind of funny because the running joke throughout the miniseries was Church kept calling himself the leader, but when it's time for the leader to finally step forward, I think he's gonna get shot. He has he has Tucker to step forward, which is pretty funny. He's no, you want to be the leader. This is what leaders do, type of thing. So I thought that was actually pretty funny. Church didn't want.
Yeah, no, I do like that because like you said, we were talking about, we haven't had Church and Tucker bicker for a while. And that was a big thing that Church was always saying he's the leader. When he was never actually officially the leader, he just kind of stepped into the role.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it's the situation's reversed. Yeah, it's funny.
So yeah, he steps forward. And basically they have to say like the password that only Blues know, and it's like a really simple password like Team Blue or something like that. I thought they were
Yeah. Church is like blue, and then guys like, okay, they check out.
and that was a complete guess on like Church's part and everything like that. I was kind of hoping they would bring back that joke.
Because the guy kept ranting about like blue and bluiness, so obviously the password was blue.
Yeah, I do think it'd be pretty fun. I thought they were gonna bring back that thing they did in season 6, where like when Wash was able to look up what like
the password was password.
Yeah. So, but this causes the Reds to kind of give them instructions about how to get to the city, and I do like this because they say they like say goodbye to the Blues, but they tell the Reds like "fuck you, don't ever come back" type of thing. So,
and then Sarge and Simmons are like, "Yep, okay, no problem." They're like happy to hope we never come back.
And yeah, they get to the city. But before I talk about the stuff in the city, what'd you think of everything that happened here?
It was fun. Again, kind of just like a waste of time. Like not in a bad way. It's nice to see the Xbox guys again. I always thought they were funny in season 3, so it's nice to see them again briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it was only really Caboose and Sarge who met them before, so it was kind of nice to see like Church and Tucker interact with them.
Yeah, I guess Caboose told Church about them. Maybe that's why like they were here. I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and it was just nice to like get more of like outside of Blood Gulch.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, it's funny because we've been like traveling a lot the last couple seasons, but just because like they didn't really travel a lot back during seasons 1 through 5,
mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like making up for lost time of like, oh, hey, cool, this is like them actually going outside of Blood Gulch when they're in Blood Gulch.
Yeah. So then,
and like you said, they're in a city now, and it's like, oh, cool. They never really did a scenario like that where they went to like a big, like building area.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, they get to the city, and pretty much they decide they're gonna like go talk to this guy, and they'll also
Guy.
Well, we're not at that point yet. So
yeah.
But and then they're going to they're gonna shop for supplies. And I do like that the Reds give the Blues give the Reds shit, saying that like they're basically gonna get all the supplies, but the Reds are gonna have to like come back later and everything like that. I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah, because their deal was like if they get Griff back, then like the Reds have to give them all their shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, okay, well, Reds, if you go shopping now, we're just gonna take it later.
Yeah.
So go shopping after we take all your shit. And I do like how Church has to like bribe Caboose to come with him by like saying he'll give him a toy.
Yeah, that was funny. So then they go they separate and it's Tucker with Caboose and Church, and they
Church and Caboose go their separate ways, and then like Tucker with Sarge and Simmons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which is kind of cool because they were together a lot the last couple seasons. So
yeah.
Which is weird because Tucker was pretty much on Team Red last season. Actually, if you think about it, like
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was mainly with the Reds. It was kind of funny.
So yeah, they go up and Tucker meets this guy. Only he doesn't. It's not pronounced guy. It's pronounced Guy. That's how you pronounce that stuff. And
yeah.
I want to joke too with the ransom note is they kept saying like the handwriting was really bad and everything like that. And what I liked about this was it originally Simmons wasn't that annoyed about it, but the more it got brought up, Simmons just kept getting like annoyed about it. Like the more and more it got brought up, like he just wants all they want was like Griff back, and all they care about is just like how the ransom note is just written really shitty.
Right.
But yeah, Guy,
and I do love that Guy is really bad. Like he just like looks at the note and he's like, oh, I see. Whoever wrote this note has your friend, and they're like, yeah, we knew that.
Yeah. Which is pretty consistent, I guess, in the Red versus Blue like universe. I guess everyone except for like the freelancers are just bad at their jobs, I guess. So
I know, yeah, everyone's a fucking moron except the freelancers apparently.
But then doing all this, we find out that Griff is found, which everyone but Sarge was probably happy about. But we find out the ransom note was a red herring. It really wasn't a ransom note. It was just we saw Donut. This was cool because we didn't see Donut in the last miniseries that we just covered. So it's kind of cool to see him.
Yeah.
And Donut just mentioned that they just went shopping, and everything that like they heard was a misconception. It was just Donut would just said like, "What do you guys want?" And he says, "I have your friend Griff," and we find out though Griff kind of was being held hostage because he didn't even want to go shopping. Like with Caboose, he had to be bribed with the toy also, type of thing.
Yeah, I do love that. Yeah, Simmons is like, "What? Did he offer you a toy?" And Griff is like, "Maybe."
Yeah. So I like this. I like that. I kind of like the big twist at the end. It was kind of like a funny, little lighthearted twist that he wasn't even being held like captive or anything like that.
Yeah. Donut just like took him shopping. Yeah, that's funny. And I like they're even like, "Well, why'd you give us a ransom note?" And he's like, "It wasn't a ransom note. Yeah, I just made my note fabulous." Like he just he was like, presentation's important.
Yeah, I
guess I was like, that's pretty funny.
And I guess the presentation was a misconception and everything like that. So
yeah. But yeah, they that was pretty much it for the they go back to their Blood Gulch.
Oh yeah, I forgot about so they go back to Blood Gulch, and then pretty much now the Reds have to give all the Blues the supplies, but the thing at the end is the Blues can't even fit all the Red stuff like in their base or anything like that, so the Reds just get it back now. So that was pretty
I guess that was the point at like the beginning of like Caboose moving all their stuff because like they didn't have enough room for all their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh well, if you remember back at the beginning, like they couldn't fit everything, and now they took all the Red shit, so they extra can't fit anything. So the Reds are like, "Hey, we'll just take our stuff back if you want." So pretty much, yeah, nothing was accomplished. The Blues took their shit for all 5 seconds, and then the Reds just took it back right away.
That's awesome.
I like they did the joke that like Donut was missing, but like they didn't even notice. like they were looking for Griff because of the ransom note, and Donut was like, "Hey, were you guys looking for me too? Right? Because obviously I was missing as well, right?"
And no one said a word.
Right?
No one said a word.
And no one even acknowledged it. That was funny.
This is good. B-. This is pretty solid.
Yeah, I think I gave last one C+. I give this one a B-. It's solid. Again, just kind of a waste of time, but like not in a bad way. Just fun little filler, having the Reds and Blues going on a little adventure together. It was stupid, but in a good way.
Yeah, I like this. And it went places. Which one do you like better? This one or I think I like this one better because they like left Blood Gulch.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I give Where's a Wall a C+. I give this one a B-.
There you go. Nice B.
Yeah.
That's B- is across the board. All right, but why don't you talk about I think it's like what 3? Like I think it's like 2 super quick things. That's like one. That's like not even that.
Yeah.
Funny.
So Church's music video, "I Am the Best." This is funny because if you remember, Church tried to start singing at the beginning of season 8, but everyone cut him off. And this is basically what would have happened if nobody cut him off. Where Church has a whole music video, and it's like a rap music video. Where he just starts singing "I'm the Best," and the aliens are his backup dancers and they're rapping. This is cool. The alien that's rapping is Lamar Hall, and he ends up doing a good amount of the soundtrack in seasons 9 and 10.
Oh, that's cool.
So his first song for Red vs. Blue was Church's music video.
Yeah, I like this music.
And
continue.
I was just saying, I like how they're doing really stupid rap music, generic shots where it's them playing basketball with Church as the ball.
Yeah.
And they're all posing next to a car. Yeah, it's just funny. I thought it was just again, stupid music video, but it was really funny.
Yeah, I like this. It was good. I like that like you said, one of the aliens got into it. I didn't expect that. One of the aliens was gonna start singing. I thought it was just gonna be a thing. I like that. The Reds and the Blues that were there didn't really know what to make it. I was kind of. I was
just super confused about the whole thing. Yeah.
I was thinking. I get why they didn't put it in because obviously it would have. Because I think the next scene was supposed to be Church having the Epsilon memory, so that I guess that wouldn't really worked with it. But I kind of wish they would have just kept it. This would have been awesome in the night.
Yeah. This was actually in season 8. It was the whole thing. Yeah, that would have been funny.
Are we grading this, or are we just gonna mention that it happened?
It happened. It was a thing. I enjoyed it.
I like that we never say that about Kiss Sis. It was a thing.
Yeah, I know, right? That was a thing. Did we enjoy it? No. Did we enjoy this? Yes. Another thing I enjoyed was another little thing they did in between seasons 8 and 9. Caboose visiting the Halo Reach campaign. So if you don't know, this whole thing was made in the Halo Reach game engine. The previous seasons, the recollection were made in Halo 3. So, this was kind of cool that they're promoting the game essentially. Because Red versus Blue and Halo will work together frequently. And as I said to Owen, it's kind of cool. They made one of the achievements in Halo. It's called "How Did I Lose All My Fingers," which is what Caboose says later in the video.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon. Halo in the game, there's a few points where like you can hear the reds and blues like in the background. Like they'll like make references to Red versus Blue in Halo.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm. And the guy Jorgen, where like Caboose launches him into space, and he's like Caboose. That was like the guy's actual voice actor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they like kind of cool that they actually, because that was like the only line that was like original. Like everything else was like audio from Halo Reach.
Yeah.
And it was just like Caboose like being stupid around them. But like, they got like the actual voice actor to voice Caboose. I'm like, it's so funny. They got like the guy from the actual game just to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get to that, I guess the main thing is it's just kind of Church and Sarge sitting on, hanging out on top of the hill, and they're kind of breaking the fourth wall a little bit. They're just excited that season 9's coming out. It's only coming out like 12 years ago. We're a little late, Owen. And they're talking about how they're pretty excited because this next season, they're not going to be, like all the freelancer stuff is going to be going on. So they'll be doing a lot of the action stuff. They'll be on easy street compared to season 8. They'll get the kick back and relax. Mm-hmm. But then as they're saying that, Caboose falls from the sky, and we're going to find out later why he fell from the sky. And Caboose is like, I don't know, I kind of missed the action. And then Church is confused. He's like, what do you mean? All we did was get our ass kicked by Tex. And Sarge is even like, actually, Caboose, you weren't even in any of the action scenes.
Which is true.
Which is funny, yeah, because Sarge was in 3. He was in versus Washington, versus Tex, versus the Meta again. And then Church was only in 1, where he just, Tex just beat him up, That was like the only one Church was in.
Yep.
And then Caboose is like, I don't mean that action from season 8. I mean the action from the campaign. And Church is like confused, like, wait a minute, you like played the Halo Reach campaign? So apparently a guy just like pulled up to Caboose and told him to get in. He kept asking him if he's 6. And Caboose is like, actually, I'm way older than 6, so I kept saying yes.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Church is like, no, he meant Noble 6, dumbass.
I like that. Yeah.
If you don't know, Noble 6 is the main character of Halo Reach.
Oh, okay.
So basically the whole mix-up is this guy came to pick up Noble 6, the main character of Halo Reach. And he found Caboose. And he kept asking him if he's 6. And then Caboose was like, oh yeah, I'm way older than 6, so I just said yeah.
I like that he didn't mention that. Like, yeah, I'm way older than 6. Like, he just said yeah. He just
kept saying yes.
It'd be funny if they did something where, like, the Noble 6 was, like, the next base over or something like that. And, like, they picked up the wrong guy type of thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the joke. Yeah, he, like, went to the wrong base and picked up the wrong guy. I'm pretty sure it's cool, because if you don't know in Halo Reach, you can, like, customize Noble 6. You can, like, make him look however you want.
That's cool.
So they made him look like Caboose, and then they just had Caboose, like, making jokes while everyone else is, like, giving the actual voice lines for the plot.
I like that one of them was, like the woman, like, wanted him to, like, was handing him, like a tube or whatever, like a light, like, some type of lightning thing. And,
oh, yeah. So that was Halsey, Professor Halsey. She was, like, handing him, like, an important thing, like, for the plot. And, Caboose grabs it, and she's like, I need you to take this. And he's like, okay. Well, he's like, no, you won't let go. And she's like, say the words, please. And then he says, the words, please.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so again, and, like, earlier when he arrives on the squad, another guy's, like, telling him, like, I gotta be honest with you, Captain. You're fitting in the shoes, like, the rest of the squad doesn't want filled. And he's like, oh, why? Did they step in gum? Like, he thought he meant, like, they, like, stepping into those shoes literally.
Yeah. And, like, he kept going back to that joke, too, about stepping in gum, like, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, Caboose, like, jumped over a sand dune. He was like, oh, guys, that was really dangerous. Don't do that. And another guy was like, you just stepped over a sand dune. That didn't look dangerous. Caboose was like, well, then how'd I lose my fingers? Guy's like, what? Like, just kidding. So, obviously, military thing, where you, like, do this to hold and then, like, this to, like, come forward.
Yeah.
But they did the joke of like, instead of it's like, oh, it's like military signals. Caboose is just being like, look, I lost my hands. No, I didn't. It's and like I said, they made that an achievement in Halo. How'd I lose my fingers?
That's pretty cool.
I think that's really funny that they did that. And at the end, Jorgen just threw Caboose off the ship, and Caboose fell down orbit, right back in front of, right next to Sergeant and Church as they were talking.
Yeah, I do like too that Caboose didn't even realize like Jorgen threw him off because he was annoyed with them. He just thought like Jorgen just helped him get back home and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, he's like, goodbye, Jorgen. You're my new best friend. By the way, you can't talk to me because I'm really far away. Like Caboose was like far away, so he like was making his voice sound far away.
Yeah.
It's like when it's like in SpongeBob where Patrick's like, "Where's the road? Road." Right, like he was making the echo himself.
Yeah.
And then I like how Church is even like, I got to tell you, Caboose, that's a crazy story, and you have no idea. And then they're like, Church is like, no, the Sarge is like, no, Caboose, you have no idea. Like, you specifically have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they refer to it as like the off season.
Yeah, I do like that.
Like the character. This is what the characters are doing in between seasons, just dicking around.
I do like that.
I played Halo Reach apparently.
I do like that in Red vs. Blue, anyways. That like it shows what they're doing, kind of while the seasons aren't going on, type of thing.
Yeah,
I feel like Red vs. Blue does that the best out of all the shows like we review. Like this is what they're doing, like off screen and all that type of stuff.
I do like that a lot. Getting a picture into like what everybody's doing.
I like that in Yellow Jackets. When they keep doing these time jumps, we never see. I mean, we never hear.
Yeah, that was my big complaint with the Yellow Jackets was like they keep doing big time jumps. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Like in the recent one where I watched episode 1 of season 2, and Javi's just like, not Javi. Javi's fucked off.
Travis
is like chill with everyone. I'm like, Travis, like, what was the conversation when you got back? Like, hey, you all tried to like eat me? That was pretty weird. What was up with that?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not gonna like acknowledge that.
So that's why I like that RVB. Like, at least even if it's nothing big, but like they're at least doing shit like off camera type of thing. Like,
yeah, I do like that kind of just getting a view into like what everyone's doing.
I mean, like I've mentioned before, like I like it's kind of weird. Like the first like dinner we saw like Shauna and Jeff go have with Jackie's parents was the one that went wrong. Like obviously the other ones have been mentioned off camera, but the one that we saw was the one that went wrong type of thing. So
yeah. Well, what was I gonna say? Shit. Danny Phantom in Destabilized, I think was the episode along with the clones.
Yeah.
We get a little montage of like Danny like fighting ghosts, like a little montage, like this is all stuff that's happening off camera.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I like when shows do that. Like the characters go on like little adventures like off camera. Like when we're not watching.
Yeah, I think we just did a show.
Toy Story did that. Toy Story has a couple shorts.
Yeah.
Where they're like doing stuff.
I'm pretty sure we just covered a show recently, where like something was happening off camera, like we didn't really like hear about it. I don't know what it was though. Was it Kiss This? It might have been Kiss This actually.
Oh God, I hope.
That's probably why we don't remember it, type of thing. So,
yeah.
But it's cool.
And I guess like episodic episodes in general kind of do that. Like in Avatar, like Imprisoned is kind of just like, it's not super important, but it's kind of just nice to see like this is kind of what the characters are doing.
Yeah.
Like they stop in a nearby Earth Kingdom village and they help them out.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Or Ben 10, we're kind of just getting like, the Kraken or Permanent Retirement, where it's kind of like, oh, they're just going on a road trip and they stumble across these aliens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or like crazy bullshit. Even though it's super convenient that like, what are the odds? They go to that retirement home and like the fucking aliens are invading like that day.
I know, yeah, that was pretty, yeah.
But point is like stuff with the Kraken, even though it's not really related to like Vilgax or anything bigger. They're just kind of like stumbling across this stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. But we'll talk about this. We mentioned like season 9. They're talking about it. What's going to happen in season 9? If you haven't watched this 12 years ago, what's going to go on? What could possibly happen? We saw the Meta fall to his death. Wash is with the Blues now. Like, that was a pretty good ending to the season 8. Like, what could they possibly have done? Well, if you're like me.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I don't know if you mentioned it on camera that like you weren't sure if they were going to continue with Epsilon. These miniseries kind of show you that like, yeah, we're going to get a bit more of Epsilon, like in the Epsilon unit.
Yep. So I like that. But yeah. So what could they possibly do? Well, I was going to say this before AJ told me. We get more of the director in seasons 9 and 10. I know we're not talking about season 10, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But, I'm really happy about this because I want to see more of the director, and we've been hearing about Project Freelancer and everything like that. So I was kind of wondering what happened to Project Freelancer. We've been hearing the characters like Tex, Church. Project Freelancer is what kicked off LVB anyways, so
yeah,
that's going to be pretty cool. But we got kind of a scene when it came down to Project Freelancer. We hear over the radio the same person that Wash was talking to in season 6 and in Recovery 1. They try to land their airplanes and everything like that, but the woman's just like, we can't really land the airplanes. We don't really have like a safe place to go land them or anything like that. Like, it's not under protocol. And we see someone walking up from behind her type of thing while she's sitting in a chair. Let's make sure I have that clear before we get kind of graphic there. And we don't see who this is, but this is the first time we've seen somebody, well, other than Vic, but this is like the first time we've seen someone just and they're in the new animation, by the way, and doing all of this.
The animation that they used for like season 8, like the original in-house Rooster Teeth animation.
I think it is a little bit more they upgraded it a little bit more this time around than in season 8. But we see this person walking from, we only see the cameras behind him, and we find out that it's Leonard Church, but not the not the Epsilon unit, not Alpha, none of those. It's the actual Leonard Church, the director. And it's in the past. He's basically telling them to well, I guess we didn't know that yet. I kind of jumped the gun there, but whatever. Well, they're telling them to land the just stop and land, and the woman's not really happy about this, but it happens.
The woman was the operator Washington talked to in Recovery 1.
Oh, I thought I said that already.
I don't know. So the she's the pilot, and like she's talking to like a guy. So they mentioned that this is like a medical facility, and like they're on loan to the UNSC, and like basically like, they can't dock here.
Yeah.
But once Church, the director, gives like the clearance, they're like, okay, fine, you can land. Which is kind of showing like how important the director is. Like he has a lot of like weight behind him.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, they land and we see the Meta. He's all injured, and we're meant to think that this is from after season 8 because if you remember, like I said, he fell off the big cliff. And we find out that like his Wash says that his like vocals are like destroyed, and Wash tries to go in there with him, which that's actually kind of weird too, because like why is Wash helping the Meta? Because obviously the Meta turned on him last season type of thing at the end. But we find out Wash can't go on the medical; it's only for like medical personnel only, and the director asked for a report by Wash.
I like that Washington is like typical medic bullshit. Because he was just dealing with Wash, not dealing with Wash. He was dealing with Doc in season 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that they threw in that line of like, oh god, like Wash has to deal with more medics.
Yeah. And this is kind of weird, because why is the director and Wash just having a normal conversation, because the last, season 6, they ended things on pretty bad terms, and Wash is talking about how much he hates what the director did. So,
yeah.
We find out that apparently they got into a fight with some rookie agents, the rookie military, which obviously are like the Reds and the Blues, and obviously the Meta lost because that's actually what happened to him in the last season. So they kind of walk off, and Wash is like pulling for the Meta to make it, and we hear a voice from behind saying like, was it a tough fight or something like that? And we find out that it's York. You know, we haven't seen York yet. We only saw him in Out of Mind. We haven't seen him in the main series yet. So this is kind of cool that they brought him back. And this kind of showed, this was kind of like the big reveal that this was a flashback. Because obviously York died at the end of Out of Mind. So,
yeah. And like you said, like it was already kind of strange. It's like, wait, why is Washington worried about the Meta when the Meta betrayed him? And why are Washington and the director like on good terms? Like that's weird, because obviously they don't like each other. And then so it's like, oh, this is strange. And then but then like you said, we see York, and then that's our clue that like, okay, this is in the past.
And Wash is just saying like they got completely ambushed and everything like that. And Wash reveals that we find out too that like York has been out of action for a while. He had his eye injured, and Wash reveals that there's something going on with AI. So we obviously know that at this point, the director has already been torturing the Alpha and everything like that. Because obviously that's how the AIs were even formed and everything like that. First time ever we see someone in the RVB universe take their helmet off, and we see York's damaged eye and everything like that. And then, you get to see the rest of the trailer, and it says, like, before RVB, there was the Freelancer Project, and you get to kind of see some cool scenes that take place. Like, I think you see someone, like, riding a motorcycle, and you see, like, a big chase scene that kind of takes place during all of this. So, we're going to get, we've talked about this at the end of Season 8, but we're going to get to see what the Freelancer era and what was kind of going on before, because we've heard about it, but we've never seen it. So I'm really excited to see, everything with the director and like his downfall now, and everything like that.
Yeah, this is cool because one, as I've told, Owen already knew this was like going to be set in the past. It's cool because we're doing Yellow Jackets, which also does a similar thing, jumping back and forth. So it's cool that we're doing a similar concept right now. Two, we're big. The director's a really cool character. So it'll be cool, like you said, to see like how he became the way he is. I already told Owen, and for this trailer, some of it's canon, some of it isn't. Like like the injuries, like it makes you think this is after Season 8, but then it's revealed like, okay, this injury is like why the Meta can't speak, like why he couldn't speak in the recollection.
Yeah.
And like stuff like this. Like the main thing is like they say that like they got injured because they were fighting simulation troopers, which is supposed to be the Reds and Blues, and that's not how he gets injured in Season 9. So like the stuff of like Maine getting injured and having to get like surgery and like him not being able to speak after, that's canon. But like them mentioning them getting beaten by like the Reds and Blues obviously isn't.
Right.
And I already told Owen off camera, York has been in the hospital for a while at this point. But when we get to Season 9, York's eye injury is like a fair bit like of distance in between his injury and Maine's neck injury.
Okay.
So like just some stuff is only for the trailer to like throw the audience for a loop, but like some of it doesn't fully match up to what happens in Season 9.
Right. But I like this trailer though. It hyped me up to want to watch Season 9, and we didn't really, and I like that we didn't fully see what the director looks like. We only saw him like the back of his head and everything like that. So yeah,
that was really cool. That they're kind of hyping up that like the director is still like a very mysterious character, and I like that the first face reveal is for like a guy we're already familiar with. Because we already know York from Out of Mind. So it's kind of cool that like, we already knew his eye was injured. So it's cool to see like that eye injury, like how his eye is like all like white and he's got like a big scar on his eye.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to reveal somebody's face too, just because it's someone that has an eye injury.
It's distinct, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Makes me wonder, like, are we gonna get more like face reveals type of thing, like what Wash looks like, maybe like what Sarge looks like or what Wyoming looks like. So that'd be kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to that.
So we've talked about everything. Now it's time to make your predictions. Owen, what do you think is going to happen in Season 9?
So, in the past, How I think the Meta got his injury is they mentioned that there was a war between humans and aliens. I feel like there was probably a war that happened between the humans and aliens that Watch and everything was a part of, and that's how Maine got his injury, doing like a fight with the aliens and all that type of stuff. I feel like too we're gonna just see the director start off like fine, he's creating these projects, but then I feel like it's gonna be in the middle of the season where like we're gonna see like his wife get recreated, and then we're gonna see him really fall down. I think the end of the past will be the creation of like well, not the creation of Alpha, but like Alpha splitting off and everything like that. That will be the end of the past.
Okay. Of season 9 or of season 10?
Season 9.
Okay.
Of the past, anyways. So.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, because you already know the past is 9 and 10, so I didn't know if you meant like the end of the past in general or just of season 9.
And then I think we'll go. How I think York got injured. I remember I said Wyoming kind of caused that. I feel like Wyoming's gonna have a pretty decent heel turn in season 9, where he's gonna like doing a fight betray York, and cause him to get his eye injury, since like Wyoming used that to his advantage, in the fight it out of mind. Trying to think of anything else. I feel like in the beginning we're gonna see I feel like they're already gonna be there, like in Project Freelancer, like they'll be just starting it in the past and everything like that. I can't think of anything else I want to make a prediction for. In the present, I feel like we're gonna get not like scenes we just reviewed, but we're gonna get some stuff where like Tex and Church find each other in the Epsilon unit, and when they open it up, Tex will still want to go like meet the director, and that kind of like kind of causes them causes the downfall of the director. Well, that's more of a season 10 thing, but like in the present, like that's how we find out where he is and everything like that. I think Wash is gonna want some revenge. I feel like there's gonna be a way where they find out that he didn't die. I feel like someone in Project Freelancer is gonna find out about it, and they're gonna have to like deal with it, type of thing. I don't really have anything predictions for the Reds really though. I don't know what they're gonna be doing. Maybe all blue stuff type of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is kind of funny that they made that joke in season 8 that like the Blues have a lot more going on than the Reds. It's like, yeah, it's kind of true.
But yeah, I think that's my predictions. I can't really think of anything else that. How did I do in the predictions? I get everything right, everything wrong, in the middle.
You got some stuff right, and you got some stuff wrong, Owen.
There you go. That's that typical.
Yeah.
Line.
I'm looking forward to season 9. Again, I want to see what your thoughts are on everything that happens. So yeah, keep on the lookout for our season 9 review of Red versus Blue. And I'm looking forward to it because we'll make a lot of comparisons to Yellow Jackets as well. Because, that's also a show that we're reviewing at the time that's like past and present.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see which show did what better, and all that stuff. Yeah. And like we said, the director and all the Project Freelancer stuff is really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing, how everything like led up to Red versus Blue,
This will be I will say this before, that this will be an interesting time watching like both shows. Season 2 of Yellow Jackets, because we're not just going to be like, we'll be covering one of the shows, but we won't just be like watching it, thinking of how we think of which show. We're going to be now comparing, like, oh, did this better? Like, we're going to be comparing both shows as we watch each then now, type of thing.
Yeah, that'll be really fun, yeah. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like we said, we covered all the major stuff that was released in between 8 and 9. And apparently Willer's Wall was released after 9. But fuck it, it's set in between 8 and 9, so we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, everything here was, pretty fine. The season 9 trailer was awesome. It was hype. It was probably my favorite Red vs. Blue trailer.
Yeah, I like this one. It's either this one or season 6. I like season 6 trailer a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah, even though not everything in the trailer matches up to what we see in 9, it was just cool to like get a little fake out of like, oh, is this set after 8? What? That's weird.
Yeah.
And then the reveal that like, oh no, it's in the past.
I guess what we will grade is grading the season 9 trailer, the caboose going to what's the name of the story mode in Halo again?
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach. And the music video, I'll give that all like combined. I'll give that like a solid B. It mainly gets a B for the season 9 trailer. If we just
that trailer was awesome. Legitimately, like I think the best trailer in Red versus Blue. And I love the because that the words in the trailer end up being like the tagline of seasons 9 and 10. Before there was Red versus Blue, there was Project Freelancer.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool like tagline for the saga. Yeah. So be on the lookout for those videos. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, and just check out all the other because we're not doing those videos till next year, but that doesn't mean we're gonna stop doing videos. We have other videos planned for like the last month of the year, so definitely check those out. And that's pretty much it, guys. And we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.